Okay, guys, we are back and we are going to play the tie breaks now. It is 2 games. Each game will be 5 minutes and 10-second increments. So it will be blitz, guys. And if the scores are still level at 1-1, then we will play an Armageddon game after that to decide a winner. So two games of 5 minutes each. I am gonna propose that we change colors again. Henry's got the white pieces for this round, guys. This is the first game of the tie breaks. So whenever you guys are ready, you can mute. And good luck, you can start.
Okay, thank you. It's a tie break,
Okay, Lance, this is exciting. I just want to flip the screens around for these players so that they are in their positions. But Henry bounced back. Thanks also to you, Lance, for sticking around. We had a huge delay in the schedule, guys. So now on top of that, we have some tie breaks. Who can complain about tie breaks? But let's see what happens. Okay, so 5 minutes aside with a 10-second increment. 2 dragon bishops are standing next to each other. The queens are on the F file. We see a Sicilian Grand Prix, Lance.
Yeah, a nice little closer Sicilian. It will be quite convenient maybe for white to play knight f3 and then d3, closing the position maybe if need be. Let's see.
Okay, and I just read here that the Armageddon will be 5 minutes plus 10-second increment for white, and the black pieces will have 4 minutes plus 10-second increment. So there's still increment in it because of our chessboard and everything that we are using is still in the beginning phases. So to make it easier for the players, we will still give them increment, but black will have 1 minute less, and of course white will have to win. So I guess we'll flip a coin or toss for colors if it gets down to that. But for now, these two guys have the next 2 games to focus on. It's blitz, guys. 5 minutes each with a 10-second increment. And we see a Grand Prix structure on the board. White has just played, black has just played e6. How does Henry continue here? He goes d3. Yeah, so no, it's good to have you still with us, Lance. If you do have to go, Lance, we can make a provision for it if you really have to go. But
It's fine at the moment. They are still busy with lunch,
okay,
so preparing it. So in the meantime, it's
okay.
always good to spice up the hunger with a good game.
Yes, of course. So that's good. That's good. Good to still have you with us. So the guys are playing a bit faster now. No, not too much time to just hang around. Black has played his knight on h6. So slightly more unorthodox from the black side. The rest of the pieces look good.
I like whites. Maybe white will even play g4 in this position.
That's an interesting idea. Let's see how Henry reacts. We've seen that Henry likes taking space. Is he first going to develop those dragon bishops? Is he going to go g4 immediately? Is he going to short castle? What to do? And of course, guys, has been an exciting match. The next match, your move gets played, Lance. Auto g4 on the board. Henry signaling he's going for blood. So yeah.
I mean, those bishops are lining up against that king, the dragon bishops, and I mean, you have your rook ready. You must just look out for some potential. But I think it's playable.
I mean, this is the type of stuff you want to see in tie breaks. This is what you want to see. And I mean, g5 is a huge threat. The knight is already trapped potentially. Black should probably play f6 or f5.
The f6 looks very natural in this position.
Knight to d4. Am I missing something?
Knight d4.
Is g5 not just possible?
Okay, where is the knight going to?
I don't understand that move, Lance. Knight to d4 was just played, but what about if white just plays g4, g5?
Yeah, exactly.
And Henry is hovering over g5. He goes g5 and Mabu is kind of, he flinched there. Maybe he just missed it outright.
Yeah, I also think so. Yeah, he missed it. That's an indication he missed that move.
Yeah, but these tiebreaks is not now. It's most of the time just about tension now, and how to handle the pressure, basically. So Mabu misstepping over there, but the game continues. Henry is thinking about going king f1 here because he's in check. But what else? Could he be thinking of knight e2 perhaps? I mean, you could go dragon e3 instead. And then he can maybe just castle now that it's a piece up. So Mabs needs to come up with some play now. He's a piece down.
I mean, you don't want to move the knight back in this position, so what is he going to play?
He goes dragon to c6, putting the dragon on a nice active diagonal. And castling happened, and Mabu is trying to get his dragon bishops out here. This game very important. The winner of this match, Lance, goes on to the final, and he will take on the winner of our next semi-final match, which is IM Mabusela versus Hercules. So a lot to play for. If you win this match, you could potentially go home with a 6,000 rand, and then the lovely title of SA Paradigm Chess 30 champion. Pawn to a4 played. Maybe a5 is an idea. Kicking the dragon bishop, and then he wants to get to the knight on d4. So there's pressure on that dragon on e3 now. What does Henry do? Does he cover the dragon on e3? He goes a5 instead. Remember the dragon on d1 is still covering the dragon on e3. So a5 knocking the dragon on b6. Henry wants to take on d4. He wants to play knight takes e4. And then dragon takes d4. But he needs to get rid of one more defender. And that dragon on b6 is one guy. And I like that move.
So this basically asking the question, maybe should you what would you do? Capture on f3, check, or just give the pawn and just move the bishop back? I mean, it's not pleasant here for black.
I guess so. I mean, if you take on f3 check, dragon takes f3, dragon takes f3, queen takes f3. You could take on e3, some exchanges, white takes on b6. But at the end of the day, white is still a piece up. So even if black can potentially win a pawn from this, the a pawn essentially, I don't think it's enough for black. And Mabs now drops back. It's best to keep the dragon bishops alive, I suppose. So he goes dragon c7, and Henry now is getting very comfortable because he's about to win another pawn on d4, and he's going to threaten some exchanges on d4. So and more exchanges happen. Dragon to e6, Mabu blitzing now. Mabu needs to do something to get some chances, so he's blitzing now. He's hitting the queen on d4. Where does the queen go? f2 probably. So should just watch out for that diagonal on the king. Mabu might be looking at ways to pin the queen, but still, it looks highly unlikely. And by the way, Mabu actually did something that not a lot has done in the last 2 tournaments. I mean, Henry was on full score in the preliminaries, and Mabu beating Henry in the first game. It's a bit of something that Henry is not used to. So, because Henry is coming off the Paradigm Kings tournament, being the champion there, and then winning winning all his games in the preliminaries, and Mabu doing something, the newcomer in this variant. Mabu coming up with the goods there in the first game. Okay, Henry blundered a pawn in the opening, but I mean, a win is a win. So Henry drops back to f2. And is there anything left for Mabu, or does he just resign? What would you do?
I mean, where's the target here? I mean, I'm trying to figure out something here. I mean, you have so many weaknesses even for black.
I mean, dragon to e3 might just be coming next, and dragon d4. Once that dragon is centralized on d4, I don't see anything coming through. Rook fe1 is also coming. Yeah, this is dead. I don't see any tactics.
Dragon bishop f3. It's just solid.
Yeah, that as well. Mabu continues the fight. He's not gonna let go. Welcome, Rose Moon. Sorry to hear that. Hope everything's going okay now at the hospital. Hope everything is fine. Yes, Henry's doing a great job on this side. All the best. Okay, pawn to f6 played.
Trying to create some counterplay, at least something in the position. You know what I mean? You need at least to create some form of problems.
Yeah, black needs to just do something, and he's doing a good job. I mean, Rook can go to g6, and Henry says, we're gonna trade off dragon bishops. And he's just securing now a normal chess position with a piece up. It's difficult to see how Henry's gonna give this one away.
Maybe king h8, maybe.
King h8? I guess so. What else?
It's not, you don't really have a move just to at least then bring another rook into the game. But I mean, it's just not sufficient. Capture, okay. Allows the knight on that nice square.
Rook to e2. Black coming up with a threat at least. Henry simply playing rook e1.
Rook e1 stops the threat.
Are we gonna see an exchange and rook e1 again? And the rook on e1, after the queen takes on e1, the queen conveniently still defends the a5 pawn. And I think it's time to get to the next game. Mab's not letting go. He goes queen d7.
Queen d7, maybe exchange, maybe c4, and then queen e3, maybe. Or just doing that, more or less the same.
Okay. Okay, so I think the game got paused, yes. And the players are done over there. So let's just, yeah. So, okay, that's game one, guys. I hope you can both hear me. Okay, Mubs need to put on his earphones. Well done, Henry. Tough one, Mubs.
Oh,
okay. So that's the first game.
Yeah.
So that we're gonna flip the situation now. Mabu, you will have the white pieces next. It's the same time control.
Yeah.
And if this is the situation, Mabu, if you win the next game, then we go into Armageddon. And Henry, you just need a draw or win to progress to the finals. So are you guys? Let's just get the new position going. Okay, let me first save the game quick. Just quickly save the game. Okay. We're going to say, let's generate a new position. So let's say let's say 1, 2, 3. There we have it. We'll just change the names. Okay, so same time control, guys. Whenever you are ready, you can start. Good luck. Okay, Lance, here we have it.
Okay.
This is it. Mabu needs to. Henry has basically flipped the script now. Mabu has to produce. He's in the must-win situation. So can Mabu strike back in this tie breaks? Let's go. Okay. What do we have? D4, D5, F3, 96, Queen F2. So Mabu immediately sorting out his queen, controlling a bit of the center. Henry got out a knight. He's contemplating his next move. And this is a typical developing idea we've seen, putting the 2 knights like that. Sometimes the knight goes to G6.
Maybe knight G3, maybe?
Probably, yes. Mabu opening up his dragon bishop and maybe hinting at E4, taking more space. Is Henry going to strike with E5 immediately, though?
Okay, interesting.
Instead, he goes F6, more solid, opening up the queen. And Mabu is above 5 minutes, so he's played relatively fast here. Knight G3. One game, guys, that Mabu needs to win. Henry needs at least a draw or win. Henry is 1 game away from reaching the finals. If Mabu wins this one, he will force the match into a Armageddon. Pawn to E4 is on the board. I kind of like what Mabu has done thus far. Puts the knight on D3. Maybe he's hinting at E5. What's your thoughts, Lance? Black to play.
Black to play. I mean, isn't white trying to get E5 in here?
Maybe not even, because that E5 pawn could be weak. I'm not sure. Maybe he is, because that's why the Henry played dragon to B6. Maybe with that diagonal being soft. Mabu throws in knight C5. Mabu has got more time than with what he started. He is in a furious state right now, dropping that first tiebreak game, and he's trying to put Henry under pressure on the clock here.
Can't you play E5 in this position, maybe?
E5, E5 looks very interesting. Yes, indeed. I like that idea. And
I just get the feeling this position is getting open and quick. These guys are not playing around in this game, I think.
Yes, indeed. And Henry plays your move, Lance, E5 on the board. Things are heating up.
Yeah, there's also another move. I mean, you can also try to get the dragon bishop to B3 and do more or less the same thing that what Black is doing with the pin setup. So.
Yeah, thank you to Kasi Chesa for following. Welcome to the show. We in the tie breaks already here of the semi-final. Henry won the first tie-break game. 1 more tie-break game to go, guys. It's a blitz game, 5 minutes plus 10-second increment. Henry only needs a draw to go through to the finals, and Mabu needs to win this one to force the match into an Armageddon. And after this, we are scheduled to have IM Mabusela versus Ben Hercules in the other semi-final match. Pawn takes d5 on the board. Pawn takes d4 on the board. Okay. Knight on c5 is hanging.
Okay, now it looks a bit messy. What to do?
I'm kind of liking black now because of this diagonal pressure. And Mabu decides to take with the pawn. Okay. So that makes sense. So it's more solid now. Maybe Mabu has found a nice way just to consolidate. c5 knight is still under pressure. The d4 pawn could be... The d4 pawn is under more pressure than the d5 pawn. What does the white do here? Dragon c3. Does he go dragon e3? How to continue? You feel like you don't want to take on d7 here. Just allow black to develop. Mabu throws in a knight f5.
Why, but I mean, you capture with the dragon bishop. Then what?
Are we gonna see a lot of exchanges? Yeah. Because it's not so straightforward how black should develop. Aside from capturing, like you said. You could play dragon c7, I guess. But I mean, the knight on d7, you want to recapture it with the dragon on b8. Yeah, interesting choice there by Mabs. Not a bad move at all.
Yeah, Calvin, I will have to leave you soon after the next move.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Lance. No worries. Let's see. So you're gonna switch off your Zoom, right? So I must just recalculate here what I'm gonna do with the plays. There's no possibility of you leaving your Zoom on. It's not possible.
No,
I know it's a
no,
random
it's not a
question.
problem for me to leaving it on. I don't
Okay,
mind.
that would be great because then whenever we're done, I'll just end the meeting and then it will be
Yeah.
off because then the structure remains the same. Otherwise, we're gonna be jumbled up. So that's fine,
Yeah, no,
Lance.
I might even come back as well, depending if I am if there's also delay on my side. But I think
Okay, cool.
normally,
No problem. When you have to go, you can go.
yeah, people has
Yeah, and
time is
then
very important.
the chat box is asking some critical questions here, Lance. They're asking, is that an Arsenal shirt? The chat box is asking some very important questions here. Some exchanges happened on c5. Let's see. Takes on c5, d takes c5 and dragon d7. Okay, some exchanges on f5 first happened. So just dragon bishops left besides the big pieces. And b6 is hanging, but f5 is hanging. Are we gonna see a trade on d7 or what? Or Mabs can take on b6, then dragon takes f5 and then take on a7. Maybe that's an option. Seems like Mabs have got something going here because that d pawn could be weak, right?
Do you know what I've realized, Calvin, actually, with this game is that the more you play with these aggressions, sometimes I don't know, it kind of pays off, eh? I don't know
Yes.
if it
Yes, indeed.
it always favors the one with the I wouldn't say we know with the initiative, but the one
Just
who
with
plays
the
with
active ideas in mind. Yes, definitely so, Lance. That's the feeling you get. And by the way, Kasi Chesa, yes, this is some mixture or there's some element of chess 960 in there. It's paradigm chess 30. So the pieces get jumbled up at the beginning, just like chess 960. But we've got these cool dragon bishops on the board that move like bishops and kind of like knights. They move in a straight direction and then one straight, one diagonally. So you guys can also check it out on I think you can Google paradigm chess 30 chess variant. Chess variant and then you'll find it on that website. And of course, you can like the Paradigm Chess 30 Facebook page. That link to the chess variant page is also over there. Paradigm Chess 30 has gone global. It's international. So, and if you're looking for more videos on it, then you can also go to my YouTube channel, Calvin Class and Chess. You can find more Paradigm Chess 30 videos on there.
Calvin,
Welcome up in Gubwe. This is the second tiebreak game. Yes, Lance, are you moving?
Yeah, I am moving.
Okay, thanks so much, Lance, for joining. It's been a pleasure. And if you do decide to come back, you are welcome. But otherwise, enjoy your day.
Thanks.
Cheers, man. Thanks, Bunji. You guys can just follow that link over there. You can read a bit more about Paradigm Chess 30 over there. Thanks, Bunji. Okay, so what's the situation right now? The score is so the tie breaks. Henry won the first tie break, so Mabu is in a must-win situation. He needs to win this one to go into the Armageddon mode. Otherwise, Henry just needs a draw to basically go through a draw or a win. Okay, so dragon to e3 played. A lot of tension there in the middle. Mabu's got this nice dragon on d6. b6 dragon is hanging, but then d6 will be hanging as well. So a lot of dragons flying around, circling. The rooks are surely going to join soon as well. Henry down on the clock here. He's on 1.5 minutes. Mabu is on 2.5. Mabu has found some play here. I like what he has done. Are we going to see an Armageddon? So what to do here? Ooh, okay. Henry gives up his queen for the dragon bishop. Just to trade on e3, and he's probably going to play dragon b6 next. Aha! So Mabu trades off quickly. And we find ourselves in a normal rook endgame here. But Mabu is winning a pawn. And Mabu's in the front seat here. Mabu's in the front seat. Let's see if Henry can hold on to this. But I would probably bet that Mabu can convert this. It's sometimes difficult to get those pass pawns through. But they should just be as a tool to keep the black pieces tied down, so to speak. And then eventually white must try to do something somewhere else. But right now, maybe black has this idea of king f7, king e6. I don't know how much it will really. Maybe that's a real idea. So Mabu just thinking about, yeah, he's got 3 minutes on the clock. It's maybe worthwhile to just think what to do. He could go rook c1, black takes on d6, and then go rook c7. But that looks more like a draw to me. So maybe Henry has something here to equalize. Rook a5 at what point? Rook a5 before. Instead of rook d8, rook a5 seems quite reasonable as well, yes. Rook a5 also seems reasonable. But okay. The threat is rook takes pawn on d6. So if let's say white protects the pawn on d6, rook a d1, black goes king f7, and then king e6 next. And what then? The d pawn might drop. But this feels like white should have something here, especially with that outside pawns being a bit weak. And Mabu does protect the d pawn. King f7 surely coming. Yes, and I love the idea that Mapungubwe is giving here f4, and if king a6, f5 check. Brilliant. So now if g6, g4 surely. And this is a nice way. And of course the king is coming close out with it. Mabu has found something here. Mabu is going to try to convert this endgame now. He's going to slow play it. He's going to get his king closer. This looks winning for white now. So Mabungumve is saying, yeah, maybe a rook c8 and rook c6 is an idea. Okay. Still a bit of work for white. Henry goes rook c8 immediately, yes. So king f2, then you might get hit with rook c2 check. Active defense, always the best way to go, yes. Maybe white should play rook d2. Mabu's hovering over rook d2. He's got 2 minutes on the clock. Henry's got 1 minute. Big question. Mabu needs to convert this endgame. Henry wants to just get a draw and go through to the finals. Yes, rook 1 d2. Mabu just hesitating a bit. Rook 1 d2, maybe king f2, f5 is also an idea. F5 immediately gets played. And now if gf, white could possibly consider playing even rook takes f. Not sure if that's... Well, I don't know. Maybe pawn takes pawn is just way more better. Just keeping the king up. Rook c4, active defense again. Hitting g4. Okay, rook 1 to d4. Mabu's ready to trade. Henry says no. Rook c2, keeping the rook on a nice active square. And it's slightly irritating now for white because white wants to get his king closer. And he'd like to trade also. So yeah, the Henry is definitely giving white a difficult time here. What about h3? If h3 here, then what? h3 played. Rook c6. Okay, so black just drops back. But now finally Mabs can come in. And what's the winning plan here, guys? Let's get the king away. If you get the king to e4 or something, still, what does white do next? You can maybe put your rook on d3, 1 to d3. Start maybe pushing the queenside pawns if you have to. So maybe put the king on... Maybe white should play b4, yeah. I don't know if b4 is right. Or b3. Put the rook on d3. Bring your king closer slowly. b3, a4. And Henry goes g5. He says it's operation lockdown. You're not getting in. And Henry goes king g7 and he's just sitting back and he's thinking, okay, what is white gonna do? How is white gonna enter? So Mabu, let's see if Mabu can come up with something here. Pawn to b4. Okay, he's thinking about it. I was thinking about b3 and a4, but b4 allows some b5 idea, and then the pressure's off the d6 pawn for the moment. Yes, I like that. I like the way Mabu is squeezing here. So at some point you can even go king d4 and rook e3. Maybe that's an idea. King d4. Yep. Rook e3 or rook c3 is possible. I think Mabu is taking this one. I think Mabu should take this one because he's up on time as well. Rook c6. Now how about... Could we have played rook e3 perhaps over there? Okay, he's sitting back a bit. And then he's asking Mabu to show him the win. King e3. I wonder if there wasn't something there. Rook c3 and then takes on d6. No, it doesn't seem like there's something yet. Okay. Rook d4 surely. Wow, this is getting down to the wire here, guys. Henry just needs a draw. Mabu needs to get a win from this game to go through to Armageddon. Henry wants to just qualify to the finals by drawing this game. Remember, there's no draw offers in Paradigm Chess 30. You have to play it out. So now Mabu has taken away the square that black will use to hit the d6 pawn, and now finally can play rook e4 perhaps. Or rook c3. I like rook c3. Rook c3 looks nice. Yes. Rook c3, and now he's gonna enter. This is looking good now. I think Mabs is gonna take this one. Henry now desperately looking for some counterplay or way to just stay in the game. It's not looking good for black right now. Double up. Okay, obviously hitting d6 again. Can you go rook c7? Takes, check, king somewhere. And the white rook on the 7th rank should be it. You go rook c7, takes on d6, king e3, and then b7 is hanging, h7 is hanging. The king is cut off on f8. That surely should be it. Okay, so Mabu's just making sure. Of course, he's got extra time. He's sensing now that the end is near, so he's just making sure rook c7 is most accurate. But I think, yeah, he'll probably play that. Okay, he's thinking twice. Is there something else here? Rook c7. Rook c7, rook takes, rook, pawn takes, rook takes d4 check, the king moves, and the rook can't cover the c8 square. So that's the other trick. Also, of course, it seems like white is blundering a rook, but Mapungove says that after rook c7, maybe king e8, maybe just to hold on. And the king pawn endgame, white has a lot more space, but let's see. So king e8, let's say king c3 or something. Exchanges happen. There's no time for rook takes d4 because it's c8 check. So still doesn't alleviate black completely, but king e8 probably the most stubborn. King e8, I think white can just continue. Strolling closer, I think, with the king. King f7 played. Henry down to 20 seconds. Mabu 1 minute. And Mabu can't help but just think, oh, this game is going on so long over there. Mabu needs to convert, guys. King c3. What about king c3? King c3, you can't take on c7. Rook d7 check is coming. Yeah, king c3. As soon as white's king is very close, then he can start just exchanging on d7 even. e6 square, very soft. And my guess is we're gonna see an Armageddon, guys. Whew. This has been an entertaining match. Long and entertaining. So let's say white goes king c4. Mabu needs to play. He's on 12 seconds. Yes, Mab's got the white pieces here, Kasi Chesa. Mabu's down to 7 seconds. Mab's move. Mab's move. He doesn't want to go king c4 because the rook takes c7 and then the rook takes... Oh my word. Oh my word, Mabs. Wow. What? Sure. And Mabs lose on time. What? Oh my word. Guys, can you hear me? Let's ask it. Mabs to unmute. Henry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well done, Henry.
What about my time, man?
Mabu, come on, man. You can't let the match finish like that. How can you do that, Mabu?
Wow. I didn't think that would ever happen. Let me just save the game here, guys. What's your thoughts on the games, guys? Mabu, I was already licking my lips for an Armageddon. Is that position winning or what?
It's a position. Let's just call it that. It's a position. Sometimes you must not label positions. Sometimes a position can be just a position.
Okay, but what's your feeling? Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not. The thing is, I'm enjoying the position more than him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Mab is being very optimistic about my position. I think, or very kind in his.
Yeah, I feel like I could have a bit of time to think. You surely should convert that. So anyway, guys, I think I lost the visuals here on YouTube for now. I don't know why, but we can still hear you.
Mabu.
But yeah, what a roller coaster ride over here. We had Mabu, you were leading, and then Henry, you came back, and then Mabu, and then Henry, you were leading, and then we thought Mabu's gonna come back. So
Yeah.
lots of action. Maybe just final thoughts on the whole match. What do you guys think? Tough match. Still, both of you have a match to go. Henry, you qualified to the finals. Congratulations. Mabs, you still have a match tomorrow for 3rd and 4th position.
Yes. You know what? The second game, I lost that game because of I only look at I looked at my dragon bishop as a bishop, and I think that Henry won because of he looked at it as a bishop and a knight.
Yes.
That's the only thing. I think the experience of him actually seeing it that way made him win. And also there was a position where in the second game where I took on d3 with my knight. Then I actually wanted to go bishop c4 check, and then it captures, then queen takes. But now I forgot that what the dragon bishop can actually block the check.
Yeah.
So I think
e6.
yeah, f7 or e6.
Yeah.
So I think that was the turning point of all that. But now now the game that I won is that the dragon bishop went off the board.
Mm-hmm.
You see now also this one I'm pressing because what dragon bishops are off the board. I don't think I'm winning, but I'm like I said I'm pressing.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Interesting stuff, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks so
maybe check, and then rook takes, then rook e6. But it's not winning; it's just pressing, and then afterwards the king goes to d5.
Yeah. So I mean, the people in the chat is saying very entertaining. Yeah, they also got a few things to say there. Henry, your final thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I mean, I think my experience in this tournament is completely different from my experience in the previous tournament. I think the overall level is definitely a lot higher than in the previous tournament. I mean, even in the group stages, I felt like instead of being 2-0 after 2 games, I could easily have been 0-2 as well.
Yeah.
And I think my match against Mabu, it could have gone either way, basically in every game. So I mean, that's in that sense, it's definitely like fun to play, because in chess, like things are a lot more predictable. Here, definitely you feel like anything can happen in any game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the quality of our games today. I think we both made some bad blunders, I think.
I think overall the quality wasn't so bad. I think I mean, especially I'm impressed with Mabs going this far actually, and being a newcomer to the variant. So hats off to the both of you for playing such great chess. I think.
Yeah, definitely didn't deserve to lose the last game, and I mean, in an Armageddon as well, like he could easily have won and gone on to the final. Yeah. So I mean, for somebody playing his first tournament, that's very impressive.
Brilliant stuff, yeah.
And I worked hard with this.
Okay, but there's still something to play for Mabs. Tomorrow we have our final matches. So well done, Mabs, for a nice run. Well done, Henry. You qualified to the finals. And you guys must now sit back and wait and see who you're going to face tomorrow. Next up, guys, we have the next semi-final. IM Mabusela versus Ben Hercules.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, thanks, Mabu.
Cheers.
Cheers.